Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. You can make a Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journal. Hey, good morning. What's up? We're going to do something a little bit different today. It's Thanksgiving. Last night, my daughters were like, oh, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Are you going to take the day off? And I was like, you mean take the day off of doing that which I love? It's just like another day here for me. There's going to be a lot more posts on social media about like what people are thankful for. And yeah, I am going to make some coleslaw and drive to my aunt's house to have not turkey dinner there. I don't even think I'm going to eat turkey. I haven't eaten meat for so long. I'm probably going to still pass on the turkey, but I'll have some mashed potatoes. I'll have some frozen mixed vegetables. I'll definitely have some pie. I don't know, maybe a glass of wine. I'm taking the coleslaw. That's pretty much the level of expectation my family puts on me. One year I was in charge of the sweet potatoes with the melted marshmallows on top. But after, I beg for the coleslaw now. I'm like, can I just please shred cabbage, a carrot, and put marzettis on it? Like, that's really all I can come together and do happily. So they let me get away with that. One year I brought a cheesecake. But for the most part, I pretty much just have coleslaw status, which is fine. I know how much work goes into making a huge dinner. I've done a couple full-on Thanksgiving turkey dinners here at my own home when we decided to stay home that year. But now it just feels better, like, to go be with family, take it easy, and just join in the fun. Also, I don't think I'll ever, even if I did eat meat, I wouldn't even make another turkey again. It just was like such a waste, because like everybody only eats like the top meat, and then there's like all that flesh on the bottom you just throw away, and it's such a mess. And one year when we stayed here, my kids were like, we don't even want turkey, we just want hot dogs. And I was like, okay, great, hot dogs for Thanksgiving works for me. But now we're going to my aunt's, so thank you, Tina. We're gonna get ready and be there. So today, feeling grateful, feeling thankful. It's like the official day of appreciation. At least everybody feels like they have to appreciate something. It's kind of fun. I like it. Like, be grateful and say so, everybody. But I like to practice gratitude every day in some way. And I used to have a daily practice at night that I would write in my journal that I called the Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journal. Now, back in the day, I started to get into more positivity, law of attraction, stuff like that. And someone along the way suggested that every day you write down 3, 5, 10 things that you are grateful for. That really made you feel like, ooh, I felt that. There goes my throat. I'm grateful for my throat working today. But every day you write down some things that are like, I'm so thankful for this. I'm so appreciative. And you let that appreciation build up. You get some momentum. And the reason you do it before you go to bed is like whatever vibe you go to sleep with, most likely that's what you're going to wake up in. Not always, but it does make a difference. So if you go to bed happy, thankful, grateful, feeling good, you wake up feeling better than you would have if you would have went to bed being like, oh my God, this day, I can't handle this. Like, that person drove me nuts. Like, there's a difference in energy, obviously. And when you go to bed, you do carry on. Some of it's like carried over into the next day. So if you can get into the habit of going to bed as happy, thankful as you can, you'll wake up in that. So try to go to bed positive, try to wake up positive. That's really big for me because I wake up, even when I go to bed positive, I still wake up like, oh my God. Like even today, I'm like, why do you make life such drudgery when you're getting up? Is it because I don't drink coffee anymore? That might change my whole world if I just like get back on the coffee train, except for on Saturdays. So I'm going to tell you how to make a journal. It's so easy. But then I'm going to grab my original journal. I have it right here. It's this huge, big red book. Like it's like a supersized journal. I was going to say 8 by 10, but maybe not quite like that, but pretty big. And that was my first journal that I started. Okay, so how to make a Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journal. So you get any type of blank journal. Okay, and this could even be a plain notebook. This could be anything, like any type of writing book, sketchbook, lined paper, just cheapo school notebook, whatever. Composition book. I have lots of those too. I have many, many journals of all types, but today I'm going to focus on what I like to call the Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journal. So I open it up here, and the first page I have written gratitude journal, write 5 things a day that I am thankful for, ... So mind you, this was my first journal. I don't even have my next journal on the front page. It has a goddess drawn, and literally I've announced that this is my Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journal. But that sort of name came with me, it came to me later because I love to draw the goddess symbol. It just comes easy out of me, and I scribble it onto lots of things, and it used to be a meditation for me. So she's everywhere through this book. If you don't know what that is, she's like this ghosty looking, like curvy, bubbly goddess shape, and she always has her hands up, and she's real cute. So literally I was like, okay, what was the date? Okay, I started this on January 18th, 2009. So here's I didn't even realize I was doing a 10-year throwback. Everybody's been posting pictures of what they look like 10 years ago compared to what they look like now. This is almost exactly 10 years ago that I started officially writing in a journal to get out my gratitude. So basically, in a nutshell, you get a notebook, and every day on one page, you give every day a page, and you write 5 things that you are grateful for. And it can be just a simple list. You can get detailed. You can get specific. Now, my very first entry is just super basic. I literally sat down and thought, I don't even know how to be thankful. Truly. I know what I'm supposed to say, and that's pretty much what I wrote down the first day. I literally just wrote down the name of my children, my husband, and being alive. So on the 18th of January 2009, my first 5 things that I wrote down that I was grateful for was, number 1, being alive, ! Number 2, Aiden Bryce. Number 3, Elaine Grace. Number 4, Marley Page. And number 5, Dreg Martin, which there's an arrow and says also to thank for making 2 trips to get me the perfect gratitude journal book. So apparently the first one that he got me I didn't like, and he went back and got another. So that was all I knew what to write the very first day. And what's really, really cool about looking back at my journals is if I skip through to let's just skip through to a year. Okay, there we go. There's a year. My gratitude on the 18th of January 2009 was just 4 people in the general being alive. Now, a year later, I was getting super specific. Let's see. And I didn't get the 19th of January. Apparently, with the way I did it, there was big chunks of days in between entries. Okay, well, this one has little goddesses all over the page, so I'll read this one. I literally have a question mark by the date, but it is January 2010. Like, I know it was 20 something. I have 20 question mark. I don't even know what the date is, but I wrote in my gratitude journal. And a year later, I got more specific, right? And one of the things I'm grateful for is mornings with no hurries, feeling free. Watching my children unfold and bloom, all at their own pace. The third thing I was grateful for was creating a home of my dreams, being a blissful mother. So that is quite more specific than just being alive. Because when I first started writing gratitude, I was like, I don't freaking know. Like, even the next day, the very second day that I wrote in this journal, the first thing that I was grateful for was surviving the dentist office. See, that, like, it's not even positive. That's just like trying to put a somewhat positive spin on my worst nightmare. Second thing on the second day was hearing my favorite songs on the radio during a moment when I really need them. Okay, that was pretty good. I'm proud of myself for writing that down, because that is awesome when you turn on the radio and it's like the perfect song and you're like, I needed you, baby. Where have you been? Or just, I needed that pick me up or whatever. Number 3, watching my kids dance to music and listening to them sing. Number 4, my mom, because apparently I'd missed her on the first day. Good job, Sadie. Way to get your mom in there. And number 5, going to bed before midnight. And then I drew a picture of a sun where like the crescent moon was her hair on the side. That's pretty cool. And I said, sleep, rest, renew. So a lot of my entries, I have pictures drawn, little squiggles, doodles. I mean, it's actually a very interesting book. So I've always said that, like, if the house was on fire and you could come in and just like grab like one book or a couple books, I would grab my journals. Everything else can be replaced, you know what I mean? But like, looking back at these journals, it's so fun for me to like see how far I've come, do you know? Or just see this part of my life. This was 10 years ago, and trust me, you forget everything. Like, when I read some of these, I remember that moment, but I had forgotten that moment. Do you know what I mean? So here's one, August 2010, and we're almost to the end of this first book. Here's a few things that I was appreciative of on August 24th, 2010. Daydreams of next year's garden, trestles, corn house with sunflowers, herbs galore. Aw, girl, I don't think you ever got your trestles. But I'm so glad to think that I was dreaming on the 24th of August, 2010. The second thing I was appreciative for was thrill bumps, more than once. Ooh. Well, then the next one was real big and cursive-y, loving every moment. So you can really get into it. You can really start to get specific. And the thing I like to do is, like, you know, don't just be in your head like, okay, I should appreciate my house and my food and like, don't do it from your headspace. Actually think about, like, what made your heart sing. Did you have that moment where you kind of melted in your shoes, or you felt really warm, or you actually literally felt like you had a heart chakra and you're like, oh my God, like, this makes me so happy or so good. Let's see what else I said. Being connected to everyone, nurturing relations. Dang, I was feeling good that day. And the last thing I wrote, kind of getting small here, I wrote me. Taking time to be with me, taking time to be with each child, each sweet, sweet child that I love so much. So maybe me was like an extra one. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, me was the fifth one. I'm over here on the side. So I was appreciative for myself and then taking time to be with each child. Oh, I loved being a mom. I still do, but there's something so magical about little children, because I have another journal that matches this one. It's like the same size. And what I did in that book was write letters to my kids when they were little. And when I go back and read that stuff, that's amazing because I literally have forgotten all of that. And I should do that some more. So anyways, I'm calling myself out because I know that I haven't written in my most recent journal since March, I think. So I really haven't. I really quit. I think if you haven't written in your gratitude journal, your Grateful Goddess gratitude journal since March, and it's the end of November, it seems like you're about ready to quit. So I have like 2 pages left in my old journal. I'm gonna do those. I'm gonna do those for Thanksgiving, for the end of November. And then that book is finished. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like then I'll have to get a new journal. Bam! I just got a new journal. Asiel the Oracle, my bestie, got me a journal just this week. So my next gratitude journal, my next Grateful Goddess Appreciation journal is going to have me on the cover with a dragon, which is actually very accurate, probably where I'm at in my life. So anyways, oh gosh, here's November 10th of 2010. Here's what I'm grateful for then. I'm just going to go back and reminisce with myself. I was grateful for music, instantly unlocking my souls. My souls, plural. I literally 10 years ago knew that I had like more aspects of myself. Instantly unlocking my souls. That's really cool that I wrote that. Next, I wrote about my grandma. I must have been worried about her. Preparing for Mary Doris, seeing the inevitable, loving her now. Well, guess what, Sadie Marie? Your grandma's still alive. 9 years later. She's still kicking. So that's so funny, though. Let's see. Surprise visits from Cara Jean. That's my mom. Surprise visits from Cara Jean. No matter how old I become, I am still my mother's child. See what I mean? I could actually cry about that right now. So it's really awesome. It's an awesome gift that you can start and do and give to yourself. Starting a Grateful Goddess Appreciation journal or gratitude journal. You can call it whatever the hell you want. But start writing down your gratitude today, because in 9 or 10 years or 20 years, you're going to be like, I am so thankful for myself for doing this, because this is fun to read back on, and then you can pass it on to your kids if it's appropriate. And you know, so then I said playing with the cubs, giving mama bear hugs. Oh, I loved being a mama bear. And then the last thing I wrote down, see, you get in a mood where you get really deep. I wrote loving that love. Loving that love resonates forever. Loving that love resonates forever. Nothing is ever lost. Get your love on. And then in the very, very corner, super, super tiny, I wrote me, period. So that must have been, and even on the other page, I see thank you, me. So I really was trying to love myself even back then, appreciate myself. And on the very back cover on this, I wanted the last page. It looks like a child scribbled on the last page. So I wrote to be continued ... So I knew I was going to start another gratitude journal. But on the back cover, I sketched out a goddess. She has a heart on her chest. And in her goddess body, I wrote, with so much love, 2010. So there's my little copyright. There's my little dated goddess, so I knew what year it was. And I wrote a poem that I actually turned into a mudra mantra. And it's called Up in Goddess, Out with Power, In with Love, to the Earth I Shower. So first you put your hands up, like you clap them above your head so you look like the goddess symbol yourself. Up in goddess. And then you put your arms out to the side, straight out to your side, out with power. So up in goddess, out with power. You're sending out this energy into the world. And next you're going to put your hands on your heart space, on your chest, in with love. So you send that power out and then it comes back to you. What was your power? Love. So in with love. And then to the earth I shower. So anyways, and then you just do dancy fingers all over in front of you. You give your love to the earth too. So that was my little mudra that I made. Up in goddess, out with power, in with love, and then just like sprinkling seeds out in front of you. To the earth I shower. Love seeds. So anyways, let's look at the next one, and we'll see how appreciative I can get before I actually go to the kitchen and make coleslaw. So what's interesting to me is, like, my very first journal, and I don't know if there was actually maybe a journal in between these journals, because this was 2010, and then actually the one that I have right now that I'm working on starts 2014. So I actually have a couple other journals on the shelf in between the first one and then the one that I'm trying desperately to finish. You guys, the first entry page is 2014. It's taken me like 5 years to finish this journal. So yeah, my practice got really inconsistent. And even this one's all just with black pen. Whereas that first one, I would every once in a while grab a color in some of my scribbles and tried to make it more interesting. But hey, life must have got busy. But I still tried to every once in a while grab this journal and write just 5 things that you're grateful for. So it is an awesome practice, especially if you can do it every day. Hey, I couldn't do it every day apparently, starting on September 29th, 2014. So I just, because look, the first entry is September 29th. Then it goes to October 6th and October 8th. I did pretty good. Whoops, October 20th. Whoops, December 15th. Okay, then I did try again January 1st. It got the 1st, the 4th, the 5th, and then March. So that's pretty much how my life went at that point, and then until now. It's been going like that. But every once in a while, I kept going back to my Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journal, and I just tried to write a few things, that I was thankful for. So I literally have 1, 2, 3 pages. I could write 3 entries for the rest of November or whatever, or the next 3 days. Come on, Sadie, set your sights high. And then I'm going to start my new Dragon Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journal and see if I can just get into it, because you really do build momentum, right? We kind of touched upon that yesterday. Whatever you think about, you get really good at thinking about it. So if you are always worrying, you're going to get really good at worrying. So what do you want to practice? Well, if you get really good at appreciating, you're going to build momentum, and it's just going to come more easy, more natural. You're going to walk into a room and see everything that you love. You're going to start seeing the good in people. You're going to start giving compliments instead of criticisms. You're going to start enjoying your life even more. So yeah, that's basically why I do it, because I want to be happy. I want to enjoy my life. I want to be less critical, less judgmental. And I really am in a good neutral place now, because I've done so much work on many levels. But even from this neutral place now, there's part of me that's like, this is the perfect place to restart this gratitude practice. Because you are so neutral, you are so balanced, you are so calm. Let's see how good you can feel now that you've let go of so much resistance. You've done so much work. You really have transcended that judgmental bitch that was running the show for so long. Now let's see what we can do. Now let's see how we can open up the heart space and really let the good vibes flow. Really let the love come in, really let the love be let out. So that's my personal motivation for it. You know, there's that. You'll feel good. You'll get the good energies flowing. This will be a really cool gift to look at when you're old and can't remember jack shit. This will be something cool to leave your kids, or just do it for yourself. Don't even think about other people reading it. Just do it for yourself, because it's an investment in your own energy. So get a blank journal, get a notebook, and start writing 5 things a day that you're grateful for, that you're appreciative of, and that made your heart sing. You're more than welcome to call it your Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journal. I love it. That's what really tickles me. So that's what I call it. But if you want to just call it an appreciation journal, do it. Grateful book, it's enough. You don't even have to title it. Just start writing down your gratitude. So on September 29th, 2014, 5 years ago, I have 5 hearts. I used hearts as my little like bullets. And my first one was a new book, a new start, a new grateful outlook, finally. The second thing I wrote down was my sweet, sweet, sweetheart children, Aiden, Elaine, Marley. Third thing, having everything manifesting right on time. The fourth thing that I was thankful for was homeschooling my little bears. And then the fifth thing that I wrote down was sugar-free, grain-free, starch-free, an amazing GAPS diet feast. Ooh, so that's when we were like really trying to get our bodies reset with the GAPS diet, because we were having so many skin issues. So we took out this sugar, the grains, the starch, and literally miracles happened. Of course, we're not eating like that today, but it was such a good thing to do for ourselves. And then, yeah, then it just goes on, and every day. Oh my gosh, this one on October 14th, or the 8th of 2014, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I wrote 8 things. I wrote 8 things that I was grateful for. Apparently we had a cat back then. Oh my gosh, we did have a cat. See, you forget things. I was thankful for a cat in the house, sometimes sleeping or chasing its tail. So you can get really detailed. You can keep them general of what, you know, just what you're grateful for, or you can get into specific little details like that. Watching my nails grow. I literally wrote that down. And then the last thing I wrote on this page was rest, focus, clarity. So you can be thankful for emotions. You can be thankful for your intentions. You can be thankful for your friends and your family. You can be thankful for things that you did, for things that you thought about, for things that you felt about. Like the gamut of things that you can put gratitude into is amazing. And it's only until you get started writing things down that you're like, oh, I'm grateful for that. I'm here, September 8th, 2016. We'll skip ahead 2 years. I was grateful for directing my thoughts on purpose. I was grateful for 3 days of homeschool success. I was grateful for being productive with ease. I was grateful for cuddling with sweet, snot-faced little bears. Aw, they must have been sick. And the last thing I was grateful for was being honest with myself. So, wow. And let's go to the very last page. The last time that I wrote down anything in this book was on March 15th, 2019. And so today I'll be restarting it on November 28th, 2019. But so back in March, the last entry. I'm so glad I'm not going to leave it at this. I'm going to restart. Okay, here's what I was grateful for. Loving my children so much, all in bold capitals. But then in parentheses, I wrote, and trying my best to let them grow up. Aww. The second thing that I was grateful for was kicking the dishwasher out. Oh yeah, that was the week that the portable dishwasher, I had had enough of it. It was squealing and screeching, and it was like noise pollution in the house, and I was like, get this the hell out of here. I'll wash the dishes by hand. Okay, so the third thing that I was grateful for back in March, herbs saving my mind all day. And then I wrote down motherwort, lemon balm, calendula. So herbs made it into the Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journal. Of course they did. I mean, you literally can write down anything. And of course I would write down herbs. Yeah, like there's actually even on the page before, I see calendula written down again. Calendula telling me to follow and connect with the light after my journey into darkness. So you can get really, really deep with your Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journal. The fourth thing that I wrote on that last day was opening the windows to fresh air and birds chirping. And the very last thing that I wrote was allowing myself to cry because my kids are growing up. XOXO. So yeah, like I must have been having an emotional parenting day. Apparently herbs were saving me. I was taking motherwort and lemon balm and calendula, trying to get out of some type of darkness that I had been in March. And yeah, I was being super duper honest, wasn't I? So in these Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journals, I'm going to put it down, but I'm coming back to you today, girl. In these journals, you can be so honest with yourself. And it is an honest way to have really clear feedback of where you are at in your journey of appreciation. So if you're like me and you sit down and on that very first day, you're like, I'm not even sure what I'm grateful for. It's okay. It's like, just start. That very first day, I just wrote down the things that I knew I should be grateful for. I don't even know if I was feeling love in my heart, you know, but I just knew I needed to start. I knew I needed to start getting those good vibes going. So that's it. You can make a Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journal, and it's so simple. All you have to do is write down 5 things that you are grateful for every day. And there's always something to be grateful for, right? So if you can't write 5 things, do 3, do 2, do 1. Just say, I'm grateful for the fact that I'm not on fire. I have no idea, but there's always something to be grateful for in your life. So yes, today is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, but today is not the only day that you should really focus on gratitude, appreciation, and thankfulness. Make it part of your daily practice. I'm telling you this because when I do appreciation, I feel better. So I am recommitting to myself as a gift for the next year or many years for me to try my best to get back into the practice of writing down what I appreciate. My Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journal needs to be brought back from her little vacation on the shelf, and I just need to do it. At the end of the day, I just need to think back what I'm thankful for, what revelations came to me, what I did that really spoke to me. Did my heart sing? Is there someone special in my life that made me feel something, anything? What am I thankful for? So in the Grateful Goddess Appreciation Journal does that for me, and I hope that I've inspired you to give yourself the gift of appreciation in your life as well, in some way, shape, form, or another. It's just such a sweet, sweet thing that you can do for yourself. And I really hope that somewhere in that book, one of the things that you are thankful for that you write down is yourself. So be sure to be like me, and on all the pages on the very bottom, write down, what am I thankful for? Me. That's so funny.